The Patriots Pregame Show is presented by Dunkin'. You just got a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, hash browns, and a coffee for $6. Order now only at Dunkin'. Participation in times may vary. Prices vary in California and Hawaii. This is a limited time offer. This is the Patriots Pregame Show fueled by Dunkin'.
Cuts it left, runs it to the left side, into the end zone. That's 2 for Travion Henderson.
The Patriots Pregame Show is your source for all the latest news and information before every game.
He throws, floats it in the end zone, touchdown, Patriots. And who caught it? Travion Henderson, a hat trick.
Patriots Nation, welcome to the Patriots Pregame Show fueled by Dunkin'.
It's week 12 of the NFL season. The Patriots are in Cincinnati facing on the Bengals. Welcome into the Patriots pregame show fueled by Dunkin', Paul Perillo, Mike Dussault, Kwani Lunis. Thank you for being with us. How are you all feeling this morning?
I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm excited to get back out there. It's been a long break since the Jets game, feels like, and a lot of talk about the Patriots, good and bad. So I'm excited to get back out there and see what these guys can do against a Bengals team that, let's face it, probably there to be had today. I would hope.
Feeling refreshed.
Yeah.
Little mini bye.
Yeah. We needed it.
Charging of the batteries, ready to go. Should be a lot of points today. Should be a fun one.
Absolutely.
I hope so.
Biggest story in this one, Jamar Chase, not in this one.
Yeah.
Spitting on Jalen Ramsey. Obviously, that will affect their offense, the little offense that they do have. So we've talked every week about making bad teams look bad.
Yeah.
This is one where I think it's very obvious that they should be willing to do that today.
Yeah, especially on the defensive side of the ball. We had a little Joe Burrow scare this week. He practiced, full practice Wednesday, Thursday.
Yep.
Then was more limited on Friday and was not activated yesterday.
Yeah.
So they catch a little bit of break there for sure. Talked to Carlton Davis in the locker room on Friday. Said a little bit. Flacco wants to get the ball out quick. Burrow may be willing to hold it a little bit more when he's healthy, able to scramble a little bit more. But, Joe Flacco, if you can get to him quick and you can take him kind of off the spot, make him move around a little bit, good things will happen. So I put that on the Patriots pass rush. Without Milton Williams, I think some guys are going to have to step up a little bit.
Yeah, but to your point about Joe Burrow, they lost 7 of the 8 of their last games without him. Clearly, he's the one that they needed.
Yeah, they put some points up with Joe Flacco, but, last week he got hit pretty hard. I know he's been on the injury report, and it seems like diminishing returns with the backup quarterback, and now without Jamar Chase. Certainly T. Higgins, still a factor. You can throw it up to him. He makes a lot of contested catches, great size, great athleticism. So still some things to be concerned about, no question on that Bengals offense, but on the other side of the ball, there's really no excuse for this Patriots offense that's getting healthy not to go out there and lay some points on the board.
Yeah, and you mentioned they're getting healthy. A couple of guys that have missed some time. Ramondre Stevenson is back up. The inactives are out, and Stevenson's good to go. Austin Hooper, good to go. So, Mike, to your point, offense about as healthy as it's been, really. Kayshon Boutte, back in, probably should have let off with Kayshon Boutte. He's probably been the most impactful out of those 3 guys.
Exactly.
So you're getting all 3 of those back for Drake May. Couple that with going against the single worst defense in football in a variety of categories. And I mentioned this during the week, Kwani. Some people that I've spoken to have not only called this the worst defense in football this year, but the worst that they've seen, in watching the NFL. So I know, Mike, you have your nerd stats that tell you that this is like the worst defense
according
in
to
DVOA,
DVOA,
since like 1980,
sure.
like when they've tracked this stuff. So
Yeah.
this is a team that the Patriots, I think this is going to be a Drake May MVP resume building kind of game.
That's what I like to hear.
like the sound of that, Paul, for sure. This is just a defense that, with Josh McDaniels back, you feel pretty confident that he's going to be able to put these guys in a pretzel more often than not, really challenge their communication. I know that was something we talked about during the week on Patriots Unfiltered. Evan Lazar pointing out that, you see a lot of the times you're getting close to the snap, and these guys are all looking around trying to figure out what to do. So no one's better than Josh McDaniels in exploiting those things and really forcing guys to have to communicate late and make late adjustments. And if they don't get it done, you're going to see some open receivers, hopefully. So I agree with Paul, and as we get into the keys, I can further expand upon that.
I'm looking forward to hear that. Before we get into the keys, quickly, I will go through the inactives. Jelani Tavai, Caden Wallace, C.J. Dupree, Efton Chisholm, of course, and Joshua Farmer, and then the usual Tommy DeVito on that list as well.
Yeah, and Tavai, a little bit of a surprise. Mike Vrabel said it was, a personal off-the-field issue, so we don't know exactly what that is, but we hope, everything's okay with Jelani Tavai. But, to get Christian Ellis back, who'd been out for a couple games, that helps offset that. And Jack Gibbons has really been a really good player for them. He's played solid, really seems to have a nose for screen passes, and I think that might be a factor today with Chase Brown.
Yeah, and then on the Bengals inactives, the one that most likely stands out the most, Trey Hendrickson, Cam Grandy also on that list, Jermaine Burton, and again, we know that they have a suspension with their number one receiver, but
Yeah. And
again,
Mike Gesicki's back too, who
Oh, yes,
Patriots
yeah.
fans will know. Not on the inactive list, was just activated off IR this week, and he's going to jump right in and play. But tight ends, that's something that the Patriots have had their issues with at times, and the Bengals aren't afraid to roll a few tight ends out there. So with getting Gesicki back, he's a big athletic receiver. It's going to be a challenge for these linebackers and safeties from the Patriots to cover our old friend Mike Gesicki, who was great while he was here. Glad to see him having some success for the last couple of years there in Cincinnati, but hopefully not today.
yeah, not today. Were you going to say something, Paul?
No, just that the Bengals, the Patriots are probably as healthy as they've been in the last few weeks, whereas the Bengals are legitimately missing their three best players. Like you're missing Burrow, Chase,
off
and
the top.
Hendrickson, like right off the top.
And on top of that, they have a short week playing on Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah, and this is why I really feel like this could be. Mike talked about sort of the confusion that you see when you watch the Bengals defense on tape. What really stood out to me last week watching a little red zone was just how poorly they tackle in space or otherwise. They just bounce off guys. And remember the big play that Colston Loveland had for the Bears, say maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. Another one of my red zone forays during the post game show. Just guys bouncing off of him. Well, that was not a fluke bad play. I saw that 4 or 5 times last week against Pittsburgh. Same kind of things. 3rd and longs, throws underneath to Darnell Washington. Is it Darnell Washington?
Oh yeah, the 300-pound
tight end. But I saw the same stuff with little Kenneth Gainwell. Just bing, bing, bing. Like it's a bad defense.
You know where else you might have saw, Paul? Flashback last year to week 1. What do you remember about that week 1 against the Bengals last year with Ramondre Stevenson? I think that was one of the big talking points we had coming out of that game.
Good point.
Not every week is Ramondre Stevenson going to break 3 tackles in the backfield and be able to get, it was a great game for Ramondre, but I remember that being a key thing.
I think he had like 100. He had like 120 yards
98
rushing
after contact.
Well, no, it was like 118 came after contact.
So yeah, definitely something to watch today for sure.
Who's going to have a breakout game? All right, that being said, let's just get into the keys of this game.
You've waited all week for it.
The whole team's in the locker room right now, just listening to this, waiting to hear what you're going to say.
Here are this week's keys to the game.
I hope they are listening to the keys today. And Deuce, do you want to tell them what yours is?
I do. It's score, and score some more.
like
it's fun
it.
to say, really.
Poetry.
Score, and score some more. To Paul's point, and I connect this a little bit to some of the old Patriots teams and what were the 2003, 2004 Patriots great at? Now, this was a Patriots team that had won a Super Bowl a couple years ago. Yeah. Everyone's against us. Nobody believes. And, this week there was a little bit of controversy of Cam Newton calling the Patriots, what was it, fool's gold? And look, it's fine. You can talk about their schedule, and it's true. They haven't played, a lot of great teams this year. But they've beaten up on the ones that they have. And I'd like to see this Patriots team start to take on a little bit of that identity from the early 2000s. And I think it should be a little bit easier than when you're a year removed from a Super Bowl. But, I think when you see teams start to sell themselves on that belief of it's us against the world and that kind of thing, good things can tend to happen. And, Drake May kind of got caught in the crossfire a little bit this week. And I think that this team in the locker room loves that kid. And I would expect that they want to step up and play for him and also play for themselves with the fool's gold thing. So, you're playing one of the worst defenses of all time today. Nobody's saying, hey, you're going to go out there and struggle with this team. You're expected to go out there and win today, and anything less than that is going to be really bad. So go out there, take care of business, score points early, score points often. Continue to send that message that, maybe we're not playing anybody, but we're going to continue to dismantle anybody you put in front of us and continue to buy yourself time atop the division and atop the conference. So, score, and score some more.
Keep that chip on their shoulders.
Yeah, I agree with Mike. This is a game that you should be able to score a lot of points. But I do feel like the Bengals offensively, even without Burrow, since Flacco has taken over, have generally lit up the scoreboard. So they're more than capable of doing it. You catch a huge break with no Jamar Chase, and I'm not diminishing that. So who's the guy that's left, Mike? It's not really all that much of a challenge. T. Higgins,
Mr. Higgins,
who I think is one of the most underrated receivers. I know a lot of people don't put him in the category of the Jeffersons and the Chases. Even like the kind of attention that Amon-Ra St. Brown were to get, because he's a much different kind of player. I think T. Higgins is terrific. I think he has a great combination of size and athleticism, contested catch guy, but also can get open and make plays. catches the ball, good catch radius away from his body, strong hands. He can wreck a game. You know, if you allow him to get going, he can sort of keep the Bengals offense in this game. And I'm just going to rattle off a couple of scores in the Joe Flacco era. 39-38, 47-42. These are games that the Bengals have lost. Don't get in one of those games today. Yeah. The Bengals are going to make some plays. They're going to move the ball, and they're going to score some points. Don't let them score 35-plus and get in a real shootout and have to win that way. If you can limit, I'm not saying completely eliminate, but limit T. Higgins, make it be Andre Yosevich, make it be Chase Brown out of the backfield, make it be all the tight ends that Mike talked about. Don't let it be T. Higgins.
Yeah, I like it. I mean,
take away T.
You know, I mean, there was a long time we were talking about, hey, the Patriots got to get T. Higgins when his contract was a little bit in question. And I just think him and Chase are such the perfect model for a duo of Chase being a guy that you can pretty much move anywhere and you know, is a mismatch, but Higgins just always gives you that outside and deep presence that you know is always going to be there. You know, watching the Bills play the other night, it was like, man, this is the kind of guy that, you know, that they're missing. I think that they hoped Keon Coleman would be, who unfortunately, you know, hasn't really worked out to this point, but that was what was in their mind, to be able to, you know, maybe their version was Shakir moving around and having him on the outside. But, you know, even without Chase, I love what Paul had to say. And, you know, admittedly, I'm not always over the moon about those kind of guys, but he's a special player, no question. I mean, just look at what Joe Flacco did with these two guys.
Because he's not just like a Keon Coleman, throw it up for a jump ball guy.
Yeah.
He can run, too.
Right.
He's not a blazer. That's why he was a second-round pick. He doesn't have that straight line, like 4.3, 40 type speed, but he can move.
But he doesn't look slow. And
He's not. You don't see him get caught from behind a lot.
I mean, I forget which of the past few games it was with the Bengals, but there was one up the left sideline with Joe Flacco that it's just, you know, throws it up and T. Higgins just kind of grabs it and jumps over the guy and keeps going. So like, it just goes back to those two are such a perfect complement to each other.
Exactly.
And I think that's why their offense put up those amount of points, even with Joe Flacco, because they can do it all. You can create mismatches. You can just throw it up to them, and he comes down with it. So no question, huge matchup today. Carlton Davis, another guy I'd expect to see on him.
Yeah, so stringing along your key into mine is squeeze the short game. We know Jamar Chase is out. T. Higgins is obviously the next man up when you talk about the deep ball. But if they're able to stifle him like Paul's key is, then they're going to rely on that run game and that short game. So if they don't score points, they can't win, to your point, right? So I think shutting down the short game as early as possible, no slow starts. We talk about this every week, and not letting T get anything as well. I think that hopefully could give them a win.
I love it, Kwani. I really do, because I think this is, like I said, Joe Flacco wants to get the ball out quick. And, you know, we've seen at times where the Patriots, especially on early downs, are willing to play a little soft zone and allow the underneath stuff. I think today might be a day where you look more to press those guys and not, you know, maybe take a little bit of a risk. And I mean, to Paul's point, it's a little bit scary to think about that of, you know, really trying to play tough at the line of scrimmage and take away those short throws, because you might open yourself up to some of those downfield shots to T. Higgins. But at the same time, I think that's a way to take Joe Flacco out of a rhythm. I mean, you know, going back to like the 2012 AFC Championship game here when Joe Flacco found a rhythm with his tight ends up the seam. I mean, it was a long day for the Patriots against him. It's not Joe Flacco of 13 years ago, of course. But still, I think he's a terrific all-time NFL player. I don't know if he's a Hall of Famer, Paul, but he's just one of those guys that knows how to play.
He's
and
a
is
really, really
veteran
good passer.
Yeah, he is.
I don't know if he's a great quarterback, and certainly not a Hall of Famer, but he's a really good passer. And when we've seen it. When he gets hot, he gets in a rhythm. He's tough.
And we're gonna go behind enemy lines. We have a special guest right on cue as we're talking about this Bengals team. Mike Petraglia, nice to see you. It's been forever.
It's good to see you guys.
It's been forever.
How are you?
I wish I could say the same.
Thanks, Paul. You know what makes me feel at home? That Dunkin' box in the front of
we
the
got to
set.
send you one. We have to send you
Yes,
one.
I love the look of that. That is quintessential New England.
It
How's
is.
that?
Do they have that Skyline chili at the Dunkin' Donuts in Cincinnati?
They have actually, surprisingly, Paul, a good number of Dunkins here in Cincinnati, but no, they don't mix the Dunkin' and the
hit the
Skyline
same
chili.
way.
But we get Skyline at halftime. It's what I look forward to.
I remember that.
Not
I
the
remember that from the
football.
last time I was there.
Yes,
Well,
yes, indeed.
Trags, you know, great to see you. Just what are you expecting with Joe Flacco today? I know there was some, you know, concern, you know, maybe that Burrow was going to come back, but Flacco's banged up too. How do you feel like he's, you know, feeling for this game today?
Well, I want to see how Joe Flacco's throwing the ball in the first, 5 to 6 minutes of this game, because against the Steelers last week, he was throwing three quarters. He was throwing sidearm on that pick six to Kyle Duggar. He said after the game that he tried to throw around the defensive lineman like a slider or a curveball, and that's when Duggar jumped the route on a ball intended for T. Higgins and returned it for the touchdown. I don't know how healthy Joe Flacco's shoulder really is. We'll find out pretty early on. I loved your point about the seam route and how the Bengals might attack the Patriots defense, because Mike Gesicki, and you remember Mike Gesicki, he returns from the pectoral injury today. They love to run him on seam routes in the Bengals offense. And so that's somebody who could have, I think, a substantial day today. Again, he's coming off injury, but they liked what they saw from him in practice this week.
And Trags, the very obvious story, Jamar Chase being out due to the suspension, spitting on Jalen Ramsey. But I do want to flash back earlier in in camp. You go viral for that video. You wearing the banana hat and the banana shirt. But the interaction with Jamar Chase is what really stands out to me when you think about what happened last week. So do you feel as though this was out of character for him?
I do, and I also think that it was a bubbling over of frustration, because without Joe Burrow this year, obviously one of the team captains, Jamar Chase was elected a team captain for the first time this year. And I think early on it was an adjustment, but one he really embraced. But then the losses started. The hideous loss to the Jets when they had a 38-24 lead, lost 39-38. The loss to the Bears, they come from behind from 14 points in the last 2 minutes and then give up a 55-yard touchdown. He tried his best to be a good guy, a captain after the game, and say it's not the defense's fault. It's not the defense's fault. But I think that wore him down a little bit psychologically. And I think last week in Pittsburgh, for better or worse, with Jalen Ramsey going all over the place as he is wont to do, taking shots at T. Higgins, taking shots at Andre Yosivas, and, of course, at Jamar Chase. Chase had enough. So he ripped his mouth guard out, and then you saw what escalated after then, the mouthing, and then, obviously, the unfortunate spitting incident. I think it was just, he had reached his limit of frustration, and I think was very much out of character. And it was one thing, guys, that Zach Taylor, head coach of the Bengals, said on Monday in defense of Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase is a leader that when I retire and I want to bring in somebody in my experience in football as a speaker on leadership, Jamar Chase is the first guy I would bring in.
Trags, I caught you on Friday, in regards to the Joe Burrow situation. And, I listened to you on your old stomping grounds in EEI, and you were the one that told me that he wasn't going to play. I'm curious, do you think that was something that was sort of predetermined, or do you think that they sort of decided after the fact?
No, I think it was predetermined. I think a lot of this was a smokescreen, and you guys know what a smokescreen looks like in Foxborough, don't you?
Yep.
Well, not anymore. Belichick's not here anymore, so now we can be adults and just talk about stuff now that we have Mike Vrabel as the coach.
Yes, and that is never, ever a bad thing. But look, with Joe Burrow, they didn't want him coming off injury and rehab and then playing 2 NFL games in 5 days. That's point number one. Point number two, with the Bengals playing on a short week this week, as you also know, they don't really have practice. They have a couple of walkthroughs, get the bodies stretched out, try to get everybody as physically recouped from the game on Sunday and get them ready to take the field on Thursday. They wanted Joe Burrow to go through full 11-on-11s, and that's what he did. He was a full participant on Wednesday and Thursday. They scaled it back. He split the reps on Friday with Joe Flacco. And when Zach Taylor said that they split the first team reps on Friday, that was an indication to me, Paul, that they were not ready to throw Joe Burrow out there. They were definitely going to wait until Thanksgiving night against Baltimore.
Trags, we spent a lot of this week talking about the Bengals defense, and not a lot of great stuff to say, but are they that bad? Are there any silver linings? Are there any young players that you think maybe could be part of the future here as they move forward?
DJ Turner and Dax Hill. Those are 2 Michiganders, 2 Wolverines who have really stood out in the secondary, 2 guys that I think project in their future plans as starters or certainly nickel corners in the future. The rest of it, not good. They put Barrett Carter, the rookie out of Clemson, at middle linebacker instead of Logan Wilson, who they eventually traded to Dallas, of course. And they put Demetrius Knight at weak side linebacker. Both of those players have had trouble getting in the forget playing the game, getting in the right spot pre-snap on defense. That's problematic. You put a rookie player out there and he's got enough to deal with on his own. But if he can't even line up in the right spot, you're going to have a disastrous time defending players over the middle. And that's why the running game has been so bad. Run defense has been so bad. And that's why you saw the play against Darnell Washington. You could see Hunter Henry go for 3 digits today, 100 yards, 8 to 10 catches. I would expect him to have a big game. But the bright spots to me are DJ Turner and Dax Hill, 2 cornerbacks.
Trax, I'm curious what I know that you have a close eye on what's going on here and with Drake May. I'm just curious what the analysis has been, out of market on Drake May. What's it been like in Cincinnati when talking about May?
Well, I'll tell you what Zach Taylor told us on Monday when we asked him. He said the 2 things that stick out about Drake May: 4-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio, 20 TDs, I believe it is, and 5 interceptions, and a 72% completion ratio. For a guy that's in his first full year of starting in the NFL, those are remarkable numbers, and that is what stood out to me. The other thing that I think has really helped Drake May is the emergence of Travion Henderson. And maybe I'm reading too much into the Jet game and what he's been able to do in some other games, but he gives them an explosive weapon on the edge. I love watching Travion Henderson. I really, I followed his career here at Ohio State in Ohio, and what he's been able to do is really keep defenses honest. And I think, that's, by the way, something you should look at with the Bengals today as well. Chase Brown has been very, very good the last 5 games or so. So back to Drake May, I think it's his ability to come back from bad passes. End of the Tampa Bay game, he throws that interception, but it's not soul-crushing to him. He made a mistake, and he's able to come back from it.
Trax, just one more for me for you. All this stuff going on with the team. What do you just feel like the mental placement is right now for this Bengals team? Are they in a good spot? Do you think they have it in them today to come out and put up a big fight against this Patriots team?
They do if they generate a turnover or 2 early in this game, and if Joe Flacco can drive the team down for an early touchdown on the opening drive. That's the way, that's a path I see to a competitive game, giving the Bengals a chance of an upset. Short of that, guys, this Bengal team has allowed 27 or more points in 9 straight games. That ties the 2020 Chargers for the Super Bowl era. It's not a very good defensive stat, but that is just the way it is here in Cincinnati. Teams have been rolling out of bed, scoring 30 points, and I would expect the Patriots, again, barring self-inflicted mistakes, to be able to do the same today.
Well, I hate to make you do this, but what's your prediction for this one?
Along those lines.
Well, it's up on our website, CLNSCincy with a Y.com, 35-20 Patriots.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah. Great to see you, Mike.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
Great to see you,
It's great to be
Trax.
on with you. Catch up soon.
Yes,
right.
absolutely. And that segment, by the way, Behind Enemy Lines, was brought to you by Pepsi. Game day is here, so stock up now. Grab a refreshing Pepsi Zero Sugar 12-pack now, because tailgating deserves better.
Yeah, we go way back with Trags.
Yeah,
Trags
we
is
all
the
have a
best.
good, yeah.
He was here forever. I mean, for a long time, he was like the kickoff question guy, I remember. He would kick off
in
a
the
lot of the
locker room?
questions to Bill, I don't know, back in the day.
A true job in
Take
itself.
your word for it.
Good to see him, though. I know he's doing a good job down there, and
Yeah.
man, it's
No, just like, so people that listen to the show, they listen to PU, they know that a lot of times I have fun, because I've been working with a lot of these people for a lot of years. So I have a lot of sort of sometimes friendly, sometimes not so friendly critiques and criticisms. Trags is one of the best.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, he's
Stand-up guy.
one of the best guys that's been in that. And there's a lot, like Mike Reese, Phil Perry, those guys I've been working with for a long time. Tom Curran, Mike Petraglia did it right for a long time here, and I'm happy for him. He's back. He's from Cincinnati originally. He's back in his home area. Oh, you see the Patriots
on all white.
with the all whites.
What do you
this
think,
year,
Deuce?
for today.
Yeah, I like him. You know what I like?
I mean,
Oh, you like-
I'd be
yeah.
hard pressed to find
What don't
anything
you
When
that
the
you
team
don't
is winning,
like.
I don't like them. But what I do appreciate is in this particular uniform combination of the Patriots that the pants match the
They match.
The shirt, yeah.
So
Not like
in
last
that
year.
regard, it's
the dirty pants.
it's nice and balanced. So I like that. But I mean, maybe nothing, but just interesting. He's taking some snaps there.
Oh,
for
Rundy. We got a
Brown,
little
but
Run DMC in the
Rundy,
background
there
there.
we go.
Good job, Michael.
Our cameraman. But it looks like a gorgeous day there in Cincy. So that's
Yeah.
always a good thing.
But Trags basically backed up a lot of the stuff
Yeah.
that we talked about with the linebacker play is what really stood out to me watching that Steelers game. Just these little 3rd and 16 dump off to Kenneth Gainwell, and like really they don't come close to stopping him before the first down. He makes a guy miss, he breaks a tackle, scorch through it, he gets like 22. Like Washington's enormous. So once a guy like that with that size gets a head of steam, yeah, he's going to be a handful to get down.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter who the guy with the ball is. They have a hard time tackling.
Yeah, it's that guy just walked out of frame. Josh McDaniels, who I think are going to be putting those linebackers in conflict a lot. I like Trags mentioned Chase Brown too. I just think, I don't know if it's enough for the Bengals to win this game, but I do think they can move the ball a little bit with Chase Brown underneath, targeting the Patriots linebackers.
I'm not going to lie. If Jamar Chase was playing in this game, I would say, there's a very good chance that both teams are in the 30s.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't see enough. Like you need. I mean, if Andre Yosevach has sort of a career game, or like I think Trags sort of opened the door for Mike Gesicki, or one of those tight ends. If something out of the ordinary were to happen with a secondary receiver, then maybe. But because I do respect the Bengals' ability. Chase Brown, I respect Flacco's ability to throw if he's healthy enough to do it. T. Higgins, these guys can make plays. I just don't know if there's enough without Chase and Burrow.
Along those lines, one thing to talk about with the Patriots defense was Harold Landry popping up as questionable at the end of this week. I mean, he's a player, hasn't quite had the same production last handful of games that he had early in the season. We pointed to, I think New Orleans was it New Orleans?
New Orleans was the game that he got hurt.
That was an ankle. This is a knee now.
So, which kind of makes me wonder if it's
lingering.
Was a knee all along.
Yeah.
Because it kind of looked like a knee at the time.
Yeah,
but
he is active. But just something to watch. And Braden Swinson will be active for his first game. Not sure if that means he's going to play on defense at all. Might just be kind of a special teams thing with Jelani Tavai. But point to Elijah Ponder too, who's playing a little bit more recently. Had a sack in the last 2 games. So it'd be great if you can get to that point. I mean, I hate talking about this kind of stuff, but to get a little bit of a lead and be able to protect Harold Landry, not have to lean on him. I mean, I think they'll probably do that to some extent anyway.
Yeah.
But being able to rest those guys a little bit and get some snaps for your younger players, even allow guys like Corey Durden, who's probably going to have to step up for Milton Williams, get some additional snaps. And Jeremiah Farms, the guy who got elevated from the practice squad, he's been around here for a few years. He's played in all the different systems that have been here. But I've always thought he's at his best at kind of doing what Milton Williams does: get upfield, penetrate. Hardworking kid, so see him get some opportunities maybe today as well.
Yeah, like you said, this is definitely the game to do that. All right, well, let's take it out to the phone lines. We have our usuals on the docket right now. We'll start with Nate, who's in Connecticut.
Hey, guys. Can you guys hear me well?
Yeah, what's up, Nate?
Not much. I got a couple questions for you guys today. First off,
drive safely.
Get off your dirt bike.
Are you good?
So a very loud motorcycle.
Oh.
All right, someone else's. All right.
I was concerned.
So to start off where I left off, Travion Henderson, with Ramondre back in the game today, how many touches do you think Travion is going to get, coming off a big game against the Jets? He showed a lot in that game, and, with Ramondre coming back, I think some of those reps might get stolen a bit. So I just want your guys' thoughts on that. And secondly, Milton Williams, one of our best one of our best D linemen, out. How does this affect the run game, considering that New England's D line has been probably really, really up there and stopping the run? But how does this affect them?
Yeah,
thanks, Nate.
I mean, it definitely affects them. I mean, Milton Williams has been a tone setter. He is nonstop effort. He runs to the ball down the field. I mean, so it's the production. It's also just that kind of leadership and that energy that he plays with. And That's why I brought up Jeremiah Farms, because, a lot of times you get young guys in there and they play with that energy. I mean, Milton Williams is kind of a superstar that plays with that energy, but they'll have to figure out a way. And this is every other team has probably had more injuries than the Patriots had. This is the first starter to go on IR, so it's not unexpected territory. You've got to deal with it. But at the same time, maybe it gives you an opportunity to have some of these other players step out, round out your depth a little bit, give a guy, like I said, Corey Durden, a little bit more opportunity to play. And then see what you got there, and then maybe we get in the playoffs. You feel really good about your rotation. But overall, I would say going back to the running backs, I mean, you're seeing them right there. Terrell Jennings also is back in the mix. So you not only have Ramondre Stevenson back, but you have Terrell Jennings in there as well. So I think I'd like to balance it out today. I mean, I don't think you're ready to throw Ramondre in there and give him the bulk of the carries and let him get beat up and, all that. I might almost lean into the side of Henderson kind of continues to be the lead back, at least until you have a chance to really work Jennings, work Stevenson. And again, you'd love to get to that point today where you're not feeling like we got to chase scores or anything like that. We can allow our guys to get some snaps, but not have to push it with anyone.
Yeah, I mean, 10 to 15.
Yeah.
I would like to see Henderson go back down to 10 to 15, not the 20 to 25 that he had last week. I think that's asking a lot of a smaller guy. I don't want to call him small, but he's smaller. I think as long as Stevenson is healthy, and by all accounts he is, I would put him back in that lead role. Now, he doesn't have to get 20 or 25 carries either. Just back to that split that they sort of had, in September and into the first part of October before Ramondre got hurt. I think that if you keep Henderson in that kind of role, I think you keep the opportunity for his explosiveness. You saw how much more explosive he was in Tampa than he was with the Jets. I know everybody thinks he had a great game against the Jets because he had 3 touchdowns. And he did. He had 3 touchdowns are a lot of time. Like, I'm not a moron. Like, touchdowns are important, and he had 3 of them. But he didn't have those plays that he had against Tampa. In my view, sometimes the touchdown part of it, and I know this is kind of the fantasy era. It's like all about who scores the touchdown. I don't think teams care who scores the touchdown as much as individual fans care who scores the touchdown for obvious reasons. You're going to score X amount of touchdowns, and you're going to get 3, 4, 5 touchdowns, whatever it is, every game. I don't think Josh McDaniels cares who gets them. His game against Tampa was much more effective, even though he was bottled up. But the explosive plays that he made against Tampa, to me, even though he only had 2 touchdowns as opposed to the 3 touchdowns that he had against the Jets, when he wasn't scoring touchdowns in both of those games, he was kind of ineffective. He averaged 3.3 yards a carry against the Jets. So that's why I want to limit his touches, because I want to increase the opportunity and the odds that he does what he get against Tampa and breaks one. Because I think those plays, especially the first one coming out of the second half, that set the whole tone for the second half. That made it a 2-score lead and made Tampa Bay chase the rest of the game. That was a really, really big play in that game. I want to see that explosiveness. He absolutely brings that home run ability that Stevenson doesn't.
Hope to see it. All right, there's still more to come here on the Patriots pregame show, fueled by Duncan. We're taking your calls. We're reading some emails. So stick around. The show will be right back.
This Patriots pregame show is brought to you by Brunt Workwear. They make work boots and apparel that are built for the job site. Their gear is comfortable, durable, and named after the real workers in the trades that help design it. Save $10 on your first order at bruntworkwear.com/Pats or with coupon code PATS. And by Tostitos. Football fans know traditions matter. They're what inspire us to make masa in Tostitos the traditional way, starting with whole corn kernels. Discover your next tradition this football season. Head to the store, grab your Tostitos team bag, and scan the code for a chance to score an epic experience with the Patriots. Tostitos. Tradition matters.
The future with AI will twist and turn. Cisco is the critical infrastructure for the AI era, clearing your path to wide open possibility. Cisco.
It ain't my dad's razor, Dad.
Hey, watch it.
It's from Gillette Labs. This green bar releases trapped hairs from my face.
Game changer.
While the Flex, this contours to it, so the 5 blades can get virtually every hair in one stroke for the ultimate Gillette shaving experience.
The best a man can get
Is Gillette Labs.
It's the biggest deal in breakfast, Dunkin's $6 meal deal. You get a medium iced or hot coffee, bacon, egg, and cheese, and 6 toasty hash browns. Dunkin's $6 meal deal is back.
Let there be ideas too big to stay ideas, and the software to make them soar. Let there be anything. Autodesk.
This Patriots pregame show is brought to you by Bridgestone Tires. It's important to have confidence when on the road. With Bridgestone tires on your car, truck, SUV, or minivan, you're riding on tires you can trust. They're engineered to give you peace of mind so you can focus on enjoying the journey. Bridgestone, solutions for your journey. Available now at Sullivan Tire.
Join the show by calling in at 855-500 or email at podcast@patriots.com. Now, back to the Patriots pregame show fueled by Dunkin'.
Welcome back into the show. Paul Perillo, Mike Dussault, Kwani Lunis. We're all here, and we're excited to see...
Keyshawn Booty.
I'm saying
I'm excited to see Booty back.
Yeah, Booty's
We got our
back.
Booty back.
Booty's warming up right now. But yeah, the Patriots obviously in Cincinnati right now, getting ready for this 1 o'clock tip-off against...
better not let him run by you.
Oh, I like it. I like
now, the
it.
Bengals, I always get confused. Which one's the Who Day? And there's like a Who Day
They're
and a
Who Day.
Dat, or
They
what?
Who Day.
Who Day.
And then
Who
and then
Dat
what's-
is
Saints.
in the Saints.
So it's just Day and Dat.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is that the difference?
What's the origin of
It's
Day
kind
Dat?
of like the Oilers and the Dolphins. They kind of stole each other's thing.
Sports, they get very creative.
Who dis? Could we be
Who
Who
dat?
dis?
Who dis?
Who dat?
Who dat?
Who day? Who dis?
New phone. Who dis?
I like this. Now we see the team huddling up, prepping for this one. But yeah,
Is this the Diggs
Is it,
pregame?
the big speech? Yeah.
It's
I wish we
fired
had
up.
a mic in there, like we could hear what's in real time.
We will. It won't be in real time, but we'll
Exactly.
get it eventually. Don't worry.
Make sure you follow Patriots.com. You'll get all the information you need.
That's
from
right.
there.
I didn't see Dix.
Yeah,
That's what we do.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there he is.
There he is. Look at that.
New dad,
There he is.
congratulations.
New dad, yeah,
Got
exactly.
wrapped up in a Diggs Patriots blanket, so there you go. Go out there and catch some tutties today, Diggs.
Do it for the baby. All right, we can head back out to the phone lines. We see Patty and Agawam. Hi, Patty.
Kwani, Mikey, Polly, how you doing?
Aw.
Hey, Patty, what's going on?
Not too much, man. I got a few things, so I'll make it quick. I'll try and make it as quick as possible. First thing, Trags, 100%, guys. He is a class act, and he was great when he was on the beat here. Good to hear him. Good to hear that he's doing well. Number two, Paulie. I tried to get this in when I called in on PU, but it did break my heart a little bit when Jacoby broke Drew's completion record. Most passes completed in the game record this past week.
Yeah,
And,
well, at least Drew won his game.
That's true. I was going to say that, too. And just on this game, I'll just say this. At this point in the season, what's really impressed me most about this team is, I brought this up in a postgame show, they just find ways to win, and they win. Them and maybe like 3 other teams, the Eagles, the Rams, and I'll even throw the Broncos in there. They're just, you said it earlier this week, they're just a pro team, a professional team, and they're playing like they're in year 3 of the system, not year 1, which is impressive. And this is how I think the game's going to play out. Here's my prediction. Bengals are probably going to go down the field and score in the first drive. Sorry, Treg.
What makes you say that?
Enough. The Pats will put up like a 3-score lead after that, and I got them winning 41-27. I don't think it's couple garbage time touchdowns for the Bengals, but clean, easy win, a professional win. Let's get it done, guys.
Like that prediction.
All right,
Thank
Patty.
There are quite a few predictions with the Bengals having,
like a breakout game,
20-ish points. But respectable showing. There's
I
not a
would
lot of
hope.
like
So
35-3. There's not a lot of that.
Like it's
Yeah.
funny. I picked, and I know we do our picks later. I picked 38-24, and I repeated it on the Sports Hub, and they were like, 24 for the Bengals, like that. You're giving them that many?
I mean, you would hope they have pride enough to not embarrass themselves.
I didn't think that was out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
That's when I said, if Chase was playing, it probably would have been
Higher.
like 38-34. I still would have had the Patriots winning the game, but I think it would have had a higher degree of probability of it being a true shootout.
Sure, and it stretches the Patriots cornerbacks a little bit.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned, Yoshivas, like all of a sudden when he's the number 3, now you've got size matchup concerns with him. And I mean, look, as Paul said, they've scored the ball. They've scored some points. They've moved the ball. So,
and you made the point about Yoshivas too during the week. He's a bigger slot receiver, and that may have caused some problems for Marcus Jones, who, as good as he's been this year, I mean, let's face it, he's still a little small for a matchup like that. Now you don't have to necessarily worry about that because you could put Carlton Davis on Yoshivas in Christian Gonzalez, Paul, the best cornerback
don't forget about him
on T. Higgins if you want. You could switch those guys. You could have Davis on one. You could double team. I'm sure they'll do different things, and I'm sure they're going to irritate Mike and Evan again and play too much zone, which will get under your skin. But that matchup that was sort of under the radar that could have potentially been a problem with Marcus Jones is probably mitigated.
Yeah. Well, I think I don't really care what they play. It's just if you see Flacco get into that hike 1, 2, balls out, hike 1, 2, out, those kind of little underneath passes. To your point, Paul, I think you always, make the point. It's hard to keep pace in a big game like that. And that's really, I think, what the Patriots tried to do with Mac Jones is to just get the ball out quick, get to the open guy. We don't have anything down the field, but we can complete some passes. I don't know if those plays are enough to keep the Bengals in the game, but I do think on the opening drive, if they've got a couple things up their sleeve, targeting Chase Brown underneath, those third down got to have it kind of moments. Yeah, that's what concerns me. If you see Flacco, you'll know it. Throwing in rhythm, balls out. If it's drops back, holds it, pass rush got to get there. And so if they can get that timing up on the defense with the marrying of the rush and the coverage, I think the Patriots will be okay today.
And we actually got an email from Todd in Garner, North Carolina. He asked, talking on the same subject, can we say that our D really hasn't been tested and that this game could expose some of the warts?
Yeah, Todd's worried about this game.
Yeah.
You might have missed that.
No.
Todd's a little worried about this game with the Bengals offense sort of exposing the Patriots secondary a little bit.
Okay.
I don't know if that might have been before the Chase news came down, though. I'm not positive. But, yeah, Todd's a longtime fan, Kwani.
Yeah.
He picks Cincinnati.
Huh.
Really?
This one. That one, it stood out to me because he, like I said, he's been calling the show for a long time, and I don't really remember him calling for too many losses when the Patriots have been good. I mean, I'm not talking about the last 2 years when everybody was doing it.
Sure.
And right now we have eyes on Christian Gonzalez. We were just talking about him. How do you see him performing in this one?
Well, I think to Paul's point, how do they use him? I mean, that's what's interesting to me. Do they have him traveling? Do they just kind of play sides and let Higgins go where he may? I mean, I don't feel terrible about Higgins on Davis or Gonzalez. So
I agree.
Maybe you just kind of play sides and let the Bengals do what they want as far as dictating matchups. But still, I think it's just, for me, it's about that pass rush today and not giving him too much time in the pocket. And you look at the individual players. I think the Patriots. You can pressure rates and all these things for, Christian Barmore looks really good pressure-wise, and Chaseon's got a bunch of sacks and pressures, and Milton Williams did. But, when you look at collectively how effective they've been, they're kind of a middle-of-the-road pass rush team. And that's something to the point of when you're playing better quarterbacks, it could come back to haunt you. We've seen plenty of young first-year starting quarterbacks, rookie or, second year like Spencer Rattler, have a lot of completions against this defense. And again, it goes back to, is it enough to score touchdowns, or is it, you're going to move the ball and maybe get a field goal, maybe you get a turnover. That's not good enough. But if you're looking for things on this Patriots defense to maybe be a little bit concerned about as you go down the road, you got to face Lamar, you got to face Josh Allen again. Those are things that you can't do. You got to get that pass rush back up and running. And that's why, to me, the Harold Landry popping up with kind of a new injury this week, that's concerning to me. They need him. He's a really valuable part of this front.
100% agree. All right, we're going to head out to Sean in Vancouver.
Yeah, speakerphone. Paul, I feel stronger if Flacco wasn't starting at quarterback, if they had Burrow at quarterback for 4 touchdowns and 300 yards, just because with this deficiency in Cincinnati's offense, they might turn the ball over more, it might be shorter fields. Later in the game, the Patriots might go more to a clock control type of approach. So I hope for it, but I'm not as confident as it was earlier in the week. All right, I'll let you go on that.
Hi, thanks, Sean.
Yeah, I mean, I just say they haven't had a turnover in 3 games. It's not for all the things that we crushed them for. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the defensive side.
So
of the ball.
who
They've
was
got
that-
5 in the last 2 weeks. Sorry, the defense doesn't have any turnovers. Sorry, I looked at the wrong thing there for a second. So, no, that's huge. They are kind of sporadic, though. I mean, it's no turnovers or 3+. It seems like this season they've had turnovers in 5 games. So they're kind of hot and cold. But yeah, get pressure on Flacco. I think the rest will take care of itself.
Well, and I also thought Trag's point about the way Flacco was throwing. I know he was highly questionable heading into that Steelers game, and all of a sudden the offense is held to 12 points after scoring 35 plus a few weeks in a row. I don't think he's healthy, and that's one of the reasons why I thought the whole way they handled the Burrow thing was odd to me, because I felt like they kind of needed Burrow to play. And again, I feel like if the Bengals are going to make a run, they have to win out, pretty much.
Well,
10-7 is what you need to do probably to win that division. Maybe 9-8 wins the division, but probably 10-7 at minimum. You can't afford to say, well, we're going to wait in this game, because I think they had a low chance of winning the game with Burrow. I give him less of a chance with Flacco, especially a Flacco who's clearly under 100%.
Would it change your opinion at all, or change how you look at it all if you kind of knew Aaron Rodgers wasn't going to play today? Does that, you know what I mean? As you're seeing, like, well, geez, Pittsburgh might be.
No, that's why I think 10-7 can win the division. That's why I don't think. I think if you're Cincinnati at 3-7, normally you'd be like, we're done.
Well, no, yeah, but
the team you're chasing is highly flawed. Like there's a good chance that the team you're chasing is going to come back to you a little bit. So I'd roll the dice, and I understand if Zach Taylor in the back of his mind, I don't think he'd ever admit this publicly. If he said to himself, "Geez, I think we could make a run here, and I think he's ready to play, but if I bring him back and he gets hurt, I'm out of a job."
Yeah,
I could understand him thinking that way.
Yeah,
I could see that too. All right,
he's probably going to be out of a job anyway if they end up going, 7-10 or 6-11, whatever.
Well, is it salvageable? I mean, what does it look like?
I don't think with that defense it's salvageable. Yeah. But I would take a run until I'm eliminated.
Yeah.
Like if they would have, what if it went the other way and they won 2 games in 5 days?
Right back in.
Let's hope that doesn't
with Burrow.
Yeah.
Do you know? I mean, like all of a sudden there's hope.
Good.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, exactly. All right, time now for over-unders. Patriots fans this month celebrate Veterans Day with a new snowblower from Aaron's doing their Heroes and Holiday sales event. Now through December 3rd, you can save $100 on select models. This winter, let the King of Snow help to clear your driveway so you have more time to support your team, the Patriots. Aaron's, the official snowblower of the New England Patriots. Visit www.aarons.com to find your Aaron's. How did we do last week?
Well, I can, for the first time of the season, hold my head up high at the
proud of you.
in the food line. 5-1 for me. Mike 4-2, and Kwani,
my legendary run,
2-4.
Had a hiccup, I know.
But Kwani still maintains her season lead at 42-24. Mike, one game behind 41-25, followed by the loser boy, 32-34.
I'm just happy to not be embarrassing in one of these. Things that we keep track of.
Exactly. Because of the high stakes, of course.
Right.
All right, let's look at this week's. Exactly. Drake May, we'll start with him. Passing yards right now, 258.5.
Oh, man, I got to do it. I got to go over on this one.
Yeah.
That's the big talking point this week. Can Drake over 300 yards against? Now, maybe they get some touchdowns and they shut him down, but I'm going to be optimistic. I'm going to say he goes over.
I could be with you on that one. This could be the game to do it.
Yeah, I'm taking over that number too. And I do think, I'm telling you, this is a Drake May resume game.
Oh yeah,
MVP resume. Yeah. I think he's gonna get his first 300-yard game today.
Josh is gonna put it on a silver platter for him. I hope.
I hope so too. Next up, we have on the other end Joe Flacco. His passing yards, 242.5.
Wow.
Jeez.
He was only at 192 last week, but 449 against the Bears, 217.
Considering this Patriots defense,
I'm you know what? I don't know why. I'm going to take the over. I'm going to bank on him being healthy enough to be over that number. I'm a little worried about his shoulder. I'm worried about Trags.
I was worried about the shoulder too. That's why I was gonna take the under. We'll see though.
I'm with Kwani. I'm gonna go under, and I think.
I mean, I'm
Flacco's-
sure he'll
So
power
you think this
through
is a blowout then?
and be competitive.
I think we might see Jake Browning today.
Ooh, Brown time. We'll see.
And the Bengals ain't getting out of single digits then if Jake Browning plays.
Barely.
He stink.
Will they call the mercy rule if that's the case? I would like
They'll
to see
go running
that.
clock like we
exactly.
do in Utah. We're like, let's just run it.
Exactly.
This isn't good for anybody.
No one's watching this.
Before the fights break out.
Seriously, no spitting today, hopefully. Drake May up next again with pass attempts. That's at 29.5.
High total.
Oh,
Kwani.
I guess
you
I'm
gotta lead
first.
us off.
Yeah, I will take. Ooh,
Huh?
I'm gonna take the over on that.
All right.
Yeah.
A lot of throwing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go under. I think he does enough. Couple big plays.
Have some runners.
Yeah, I'm going to take the under as well because the Bengals are really bad against the run.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good one. All right, up next, Joe Flacco in his pass attempts, 38.5.
Holy guacamole.
That's
a high number. I'm gonna go.
to see, like-
I'm gonna go below that.
I think that would be reasonable.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going
as
to be
well.
consistent with how I think the game's going to go. I'm going to take the over. I
Throw,
think.
Joe, throw.
He's got to. I mean, they got to throw to stay in the game. You guys have him on the bench in the first
You're right.
quarter. If that happens, I lose.
There we go.
And so do the Bengals.
It all depends on the one guy.
Lose.
All right, Drake May, longest completion, especially with this being a resume builder, 37.5.
So
Booty's back, baby.
I almost always take the under on these,
Yeah.
and
Right.
Drake May has made that look bad. So I'm going to take the over on it
Okay,
today.
yeah. I'll take the over as well. If he's going to have a resume game, you have to do everything.
I mean, I don't know if it's his only superpower, but it is definitely one of his superpowers.
Mhm.
It's just his ability to throw the ball down the field with accuracy.
Mhm.
I think there'll be some busted coverages today. I think he hits a long one.
and
to
maybe
Booty,
that one's to Stephon
maybe Matt
Diggs.
Collins.
That'll be my prediction. Oh, Matt
Going up.
Collins for you. Okay. We'll see.
I'm over.
All right, last but not least, total score, 50.5.
Who's up?
Me.
Guess that's you, Kwani.
Me? I will take, 50.5. I'm going to take the under on that one.
Under?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go under too. I think the Patriots break 30, but I got the Bengals around 10, 13. Under.
Wow.
What are you doing?
Over.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
This might be the way you take the lead.
Paul's being consistent. You know.
Again, if Joe Flacco can't play and it's Jake Browning, then I'm going to lose a lot of over-under
course,
picks. But I'm basing this on Joe Flacco playing the game.
As you should, which
And
is
in fairness, we should say Paul has a lot of respect for Joe Flacco. He's got some great stories about Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
There's one thing Paul doesn't like about Joe Flacco. We don't have to get into, but otherwise, one time he wronged you back in around, I don't know,
What did he do to you?
2011-ish.
Joe Flacco?
Yeah, it was the championship game.
the fact that you
Oh,
remember.
no,
he
that
does
wasn't
not.
Joe Flacco's fault. That was Lee Evans' fault.
Well, he threw the ball to him, but anyway. But a great guy. Paul's got a great story talking to Joe Flacco. And I mean, I hated Joe Flacco in like 09 or 12, but I mean, you got to respect the guy and the career he's had.
So the
with
first
Super Bowl.
ever game that I took my son to, first ever football game, he was a little, I mean, he couldn't have been more than like 2 or 3. It was a Northeastern game against Delaware, and Joe Flacco was the quarterback.
So you
for
saw him
Delaware.
early on, yeah.
And so after the AFC Championship game, I caught up with him.
Joe Flacco's
I
going
thought,
to the Super Bowl, by the way. It's
Joe
just, you know,
Flacco's going to the Super
it's the
Bowl.
highlight
and
of his career.
And
Paul's like,
after his press conference, I'm like, hey, and he just had, and I didn't seek him out. Like I happened to be turning the corner, and he walks into me, and I was like, oh,
Timing
hey.
worked out.
And I said, I got a real quick story for you. I told him, like, literally, it took me 5 seconds to tell him. And he goes, that's so cool. He goes, we lost that game.
Oh, my God.
He
He
remembered the whole
remembers.
game.
Wow.
well, going to the Super Bowl. See you later.
Way to remind him right before that, too. Okay. Now, my favorite part, the Sunday Six Pack.
This is the Sunday Six Pack, so kick back and listen to my position. I'm itching to get the picks back. You better bring a big stack. Get it mixed, Jack. I came to win it, yeah. This is the Sunday Six Pack.
All righty.
All right,
Let's see how we
so I did not do as well in this portion of the program. Kwani, 4-2.
Finally.
Mike and Paul, both 2-4. So season standings, Kwani, 34-28.
Thank you.
Mike drops a little further behind at 28-34, and Loser Boy is way behind at 25-37.
Now you see why Six Pack is my favorite.
Loser man.
By the
Loser
way,
boy.
loser boy, not man.
You can't at least go 500. You're a loser boy.
Oh my goodness. By the way, the Sunday Six Pack is brought to you by the Massachusetts 250 campaign, commemorating a history of possibility. You can plan your revolutionary weekend at Massachusetts250.org. All right, let's get into the 1 o'clock games first. The New York Jets at the Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore with 13.5.
Oh, boy. That's a lot of points, but I'm going to go with the Baltimore Ravens.
The Ravens. Yeah, I think that's the wise decision.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Ravens, too. That's more points than I like to give, but I will do it.
Still the Jets. Up next, New York Giants in Detroit. Detroit, same spread with that one, 13.5 points.
Yeah, this one I'm less reluctant because Detroit tends to, especially at home, run it up a little bit, and they're coming off a loss. They don't lose 2 in a row, so I'll lay the points in this one.
Yeah, I'm taking Detroit in this one as well.
Yeah, me too. I think they're going to run all over the Giants.
They haven't been able to do anything this season. Up next, the Steelers at Chicago. Chicago, 2.5.
No, Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron
is
in the
inactive.
building.
Which I thought he would be all week. I don't know why. I was like, no, it's just a broken left wrist. He's fine. I'm like, he got a broken arm. That's you, Kwani.
I'm taking the home team again. Chicago in this one. No Aaron. We'll see how they look. Pittsburgh, but
yeah, I'm going to go with Chicago. You with the Bears.
This is probably more of a Patriots unfiltered. I'm going to take Chicago as well.
Okay.
This is probably more of a Patriots unfiltered topic, but I think there's something to that inactive thing. I think they don't want him to play.
I like that.
And
that's a tease for this week's
They're saving face a little bit.
Oh,
no. He's inactive. He tried. He couldn't go. I think they want Mason Rudolph to play.
I know. I got what you're saying.
Maybe that will be their saving grace. Who knows?
I like it.
Grain of salt. All right. Up next, Indianapolis Colts. They are at the Kansas City Chiefs today. Kansas City with 3.5.
That's back to me. Yeah, I gotta go Kansas City. And I think we're, as Patriots fans, rooting for Kansas City. Is that right, Paul? Can you confirm?
Oh yeah, technically yes.
If you're looking for the bye, yeah.
The boy.
I mean, you want the teams that are at the top of the standings with you to lose.
It's not why I'm doing it. I just think Kansas City, they're like Jason Voorhees. They got to be put down. You got to kill them 7 different times. And I do think with Indy's run game that should be able to travel. Jonathan Taylor could be a good challenge for them, but I can't buy it yet with Daniel Jones. I'm going to go with Patrick Mahomes.
How can you buy it with Daniel Jones? He had a good half a season.
Yeah.
I think Kansas City is going to win the game, but I am going to take the hook. I'm going to take the Colts to make it close, maybe get a backdoor cover late. But yeah, how can you trust Daniel Jones based on one half of a season that he's played well in? No, you got to go with Kansas City to win this game.
I'm going to take the 2014 AFC finalists as well with this one.
Good.
Yeah, we'll see how that ends up.
Last banner they hung, I think.
Right. I think so. Okay, up next, 4 o'clock games. Jacksonville Jaguars. They are in Arizona for this one. Jacksonville with 2.5 points.
That's you, Paulie.
Yeah, I hate this game. But I'm going to take Jacksonville. I do not trust Jacksonville for the life of me, especially Trevor Lawrence, but I will take Jacksonville on the road.
I'll take Jacksonville, too.
Yeah, I don't know. I was trying to think of maybe I take a shot at Arizona here. Try to make up some ground. Why not? Let's get crazy. I'm going to take Arizona.
Yeah, okay. We'll see. They're at home. Last but not least, the game of the hour. The New England Patriots are in Cincinnati. New England, 7.5. I think I'm first.
Yeah.
7.5. I will take New England.
New England.
But this,
Yeah, this is an interesting game. When it looked like Burrow was playing, it sort of creeped down a little bit to 6.5. Then it was learned that he definitely was out. It sort of creeped back up to 7.5. I saw it as high as 8 this morning on ESPN.
Oh, wow.
So 7.5. Clearly, people think the Patriots are going to score a lot of points in this one. I am one of those people. 38-24, New England.
38-24.
In a similar spot, a little less points for Cincinnati, but just,
Well, you guys have Jake Browning playing. So, I don't even know if the rest of the offensive players are going to suit up.
Right, it's one guy.
But no excuses today. This Patriots team, you want to be a playoff team, you got to hammer this terrible defense by Cincinnati, make them look like one of the worst defenses in NFL history, and that's what I think is going to happen today. I think Josh McDaniels is going to see what they're doing and have a good beat on it, make it easy for Drake May. Everybody's back. Booty, Hooper, Stevenson. Let's get everybody involved. Let's have a day. I'm going to say Patriots 34-13.
I like that. Well, that does it for this week's edition of the Patriots Pregame Show. Stick around till after to see what we have to say, win or loss. Thank you for tuning in.
Hey, this is Alex. Thanks for tuning into the show. If you really want to help us, make sure you like us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Also, make sure you follow us on the New England Patriots YouTube channel to see this show and everything else we do here at the Patriots. Thanks a lot.